Race cars in to settle the Daytona 500. Joey Logano brings them to the line. Denny Hamlin to his inside. It's on.
Kevin Harvick in that 4 was really pushing Clint Bowyer in that 15.
Well, buddy, I tell you what, that was a pretty good restart for that 22 car. He can go where he wants to now. I think he'll stay with Bowyer, though. I don't know what it is, but I think he and Bowyer got a little something going.
Hold your breath for the next 30 seconds as 4 cars try to break away from the field.
That 22, it reminds me of Matt Kenseth and the Unlimited the other night. That 22 is out front. He's hard to catch. Logano has got some speed right now. It seems like being out front and pulling these others are not affecting him at all. Here comes Harvick around the outside of Clint Bowyer.
And look who's with him.
And here
Dale
comes
Earnhardt Jr.
But look at the run that Harvick had off turn 4 in that 4 car. White flag this time.
A lot of jostling back in the pack. The leader's going to make it under the white, under green. Logano, Harvick, Earnhardt, Bowyer, last lap.
Guess what? The race is getting ready to start off turn 2. It's all on from there on.
Car smoking back of the field, drops back out of play. 3 wide. Big cluster coming off turn number 4. Smoke, trouble, way in the back, but here come the leaders.
The question is, are they going to throw the yellow, or are they going to let them race back?
7, 8 car pile up in the back straightaway. Caution is out.
Joey Logano.
Keep coming. Just stay on the gas. Back straightaway. Stay on the gas. Coming to easy here. They say roll out of the throttle.
It's over, boys. It's over.
Middletown, Connecticut's Joey Logano wins the Daytona 500.
Daytona 500, guys! Wow! Man, you are the man.
9th Sprint Cup Series win for Logano in his 220th start.
Wow! What a deal, guys.
His previous best finish, 9th in this race. He won the Xfinity Series summertime race in 2011. Car owner Roger Penske is going to have to scramble down to victory lane to help celebrate. And the Fords may not have been fast all week, but they were fast when it counted. Jeff Gordon is involved in the backstretch pileup that ends this Daytona 500. Let's see where it starts.
Here he is right here as we go off. That's in 1 and 2. Start off in the back straightaway over here. Let's see what happens.
4 wide. And Austin Dillon tips Jeff Gordon.
Yep.
And it's on.
Right in that spot where it didn't take much.
And as they kept wrecking and more cars kept coming into the crash scene, NASCAR had to throw the caution.
3 wide. You got help. A lot of help here. 2 wide.
Look at him work that wheel.
You gotta wonder if that's some poker playing, but then Todd Gordon said, quote, flip the switch inside the car, meaning it's go time. Now you can go after that 4 car a little bit harder.
Here they come onto the front stretch. The white flag in the air. Kevin Harvick. He needs 2.5 miles of fuel to get all the way back around. And the 22 way out of the turn as the 32 goes sliding out. That was Boris said in the 32 out in turn number 1.
That's going to save the pressure from the 22 to the 4. Now the 4 only really needs to worry about his fuel. Just back it up. Run
Save a little fuel at the end of the back here. Got plenty of room behind you. Save some fuel.
Rodney Childers, he's not done crew chiefing yet. Save a little gas. We have some gap out the back.
Kevin Harvick through the bus stop. Now he's got 5, 6, and 7 in front of him. Does he have enough fuel to get there? That will be the question. The elevation changed from 5, 6 to 7. Very minimal. Out of turn 5, headed to 6. Does he have enough fuel to get home?
He's offline. That tells me he's out of gas. He's out of gas. Coming to the left. Here comes the 22 and Joey Logano.
Trying to stay in front. He gets through 6. He runs out of fuel. Here comes the 22. Joey Logano racing him as they come out of 7. Joey Logano comes onto the front stretch. Logano's going to win at the Glen.
Now where does the 4 finish? He's got to cross across the line. Looks like.
The weekend here, buddy. The weekend. Awesome job. Oh, yeah, guys. Woo!
Look at the celebration for Joey Logano.
Hit that blue bar, boys.
Joey Logano kicked off the 2015 season with the biggest win of his career, winning the Daytona 500 in February. Now he will head back to victory lane, sweeping the weekend at Watkins Glen. Kyle Busch, a smart race for he and Adam Stevens. Kyle Busch coming home second. He is in the top 30 in points. That means he is currently in the chase. Traffic again. One more try for the 4 of Kevin Harvick. This time by, they'll see the white flag. One more lap for Bristol. The 4 working the high line, trying to keep the momentum up. They've got to get through 3 and 4 one more time. As they come out of turn number 4, Joey Logano tries to hang on. He will. He wins at Bristol.
Yeah, baby. Bristol again. Get you some. What a wheelman. Wow. Way to go, guys.
Joey Logano won here a year ago. Backs it up with this win tonight. His second win at Bristol. What a great performance those two drivers put on over the last 50 laps.
It was so much fun to see them run the different lines, both of them giving everything they had. There's nothing left, I can guarantee you that. I like the fact they both stuck to what was best for them. You know, sometimes you get lured into trying to do something that your car won't do. Both those guys knew what their cars could do. They got the most they could.
Through 3 and 4. This time in front of the grandstands. The white flag will be displayed. One more time around to Charlotte.
White flag.
A mile and a half, and he punches his ticket into round 3. Fuel not an issue. The cars in front of him not an issue. And Kevin Harvick not getting any bigger in his mirror. Coming out of turn number 4, Joey Logano will win for the first time at Charlotte and advance to round 3.
Hell of a job, guys. Awesome. What a car. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Woo.
Harvick, a strong finish. Martin Truex Jr., 3rd. Hamlin, Kurt Busch rounding out the top 5.
Feels good now.
It feels good now. Well, of course it does. You are advancing to round 3. Logano coming out of turn 4. Across the start-finish line. White flag in the air. One more time around. Final lap from Kansas. Joey Logano with 12 career wins. His 12th came a week ago. It solidified his position in round 3. Now playing defense, making sure someone else doesn't lock their way into round 3. Coming out of turn 4, Logano's going to win again at Kansas.
Yeah, guys. Cooler road. That's how we do it. Awesome job, man. Awesome job. Good job, everybody. Way to get it done.
Joey Logano doing everything he can to make sure his competition has to work harder to get into the 3rd round. Here we go. 2 laps to determine who will win the race and who will advance into round 3 in the chase. Coming back into the NBC Sports restart zone. 220 feet. Green flag back in the air. The 4 not going. They wreck behind him. The green flag is out as they cross the start-finish line. Will they throw the caution? Trying to get back up to speed. Caution comes out. Now the question is, who was in front?
Stay in front of them. Stay in front of them. Stay in front of them.
You heard him say stay in front of them. NASCAR will go back and watch video. They will look at the scoring loops to determine the finishing order.
And they threw the caution because cars made contact. They had heavy contact. They had to get safety to the drivers. That's why they threw the caution. NASCAR wants these races to end under green, but when you have drivers making heavy contact, they're going to throw the caution to roll safety to them.
That was officially an attempt at the green-white checker. One try. You see Denny Hamlin not happy at all. Torn ACL in his right leg as he climbs out of the 11. Joey Logano comes to the white and yellow flag.
Come on, I was in the lead. I saw it. 10-4, 10-4.
And Jeff, your explanation was perfect. NASCAR, it's right here in front of them. We're right above NASCAR in the booth. The crash is right in front of us as well. They want to make this race finish under green. They have to wait and see how much damage, whether cars couldn't roll off. And you saw cars on the apron. The 11 was on fire. You saw him get out. They had no choice but to put the caution out.
And what about Kevin Harvick with an engine that's blowing up? Without this green, without this situation, he may not get in, but this may allow him to get in. He's riding around here, barely making it around the racetrack with an engine that won't run. If they would have stayed green, the cars would have come around to the start-finish line. There's 3 cars sitting on the racetrack. They could not stay green. They had to throw the caution.
NASCAR is going to continue to sort this out. Nothing is official. We will give you the results of who the 8 drivers are that advance as soon as it's made official from NASCAR. Again, what they will use is video of where the cars were when the caution came out, as well as the scoring loops to make sure that everyone gets scored in the right position.
So let's be clear. During the race, all race long, there are scoring loops all the way around the racetrack. To expedite the race, to run it officially, they use those loops to line the cars up. But for the official finishing order of the race, NASCAR goes to video because there's a gap in time between these loops. They want to take it to every frame by frame to give everyone the opportunity for every point available. So it takes time. They're going to have to find the video and everyone in that video at the same time stamp to determine the finishing order and who was in the caution and who was not.
And this is a big call right here because
huge.
Listen, this is Junior either making it or not making it, but it's also most likely Kevin Harvick making it or not making it, as well as Ryan Newman. So who ends up, as they look at the video, this is more than just about who won the race. This is about who is going to transfer into the next round.
And NASCAR explained it to us earlier today. Drivers have to maintain this cautious pace all the way to the checkered flag, which these cars have been able to do. Some haven't. The 11 of Denny Hamlin was not able to continue on. A driver that might not be in the top 8. Now we want to look back at the restart and the crash. Again, NASCAR is going to be looking at this.
The 4 of Kevin Harvick said he had a hard time accelerating. You see there he doesn't go. The 6 goes to the outside, and the 4 catches him in the bumper, spinning the 6. But behind them, there's even more contact.
95, Michael McDowell involved. Numerous cars involved in this one.
So right here we see they're under green flag. NASCAR's looking at the track trying to determine if these cars can drive off. It's very important to see who the leader is when the light comes on.
Caution comes out, and that's how close it is to determine who wins this race.
And not just who wins, it's the entire chase field. The 18, 31, 4, all right on edge. Where will they end up?
NASCAR will take as much time as they need to make sure they get it right. Who was in front? Where was everyone running? From NASCAR, they are telling us that the 22 was in front, and so Joey Logano will sweep round 2. Unofficially, Joey Logano, the winner at Talladega. 3 consecutive wins in the second round of the chase. Mixed emotions out of the crowd.
There'll be people that say, why, Why did NASCAR let them race back? NASCAR couldn't let them race back. As soon as the determination is made of why they're going to have to throw a caution, that's when the caution needs to be thrown. That's when you have to throw the caution. So I know people are going to say they should have let it go. Should have let it go till out turn 4 and slow everybody down. It can't work like that. NASCAR's got to be consistent in saying if there's cars that make heavy impact, there's cars on the racetrack, we're going to have to throw the caution.
Mike Kelton said it in the pre-race show. It's the responsibility of the entire field to have good restarts, not just the front row. You saw there, back through the field was the trouble. Had nothing to do with the front row. They're just racing as hard as they can. NASCAR, as you said, Jeff, had no choice. Cars are on fire. They had to get safety workers to it.
Based on safety, they had to throw the yellow flag to get the safety crews out to these drivers who are now sitting just past the start-finish line with cars that aren't able to run.
And so the conversation has been over the years, why do they throw the caution sometimes and why do they not throw them other times? We've seen wrecks on the back straightaway where there was simple spins and nobody had heavy impact. NASCAR let them race. We've seen them spin or wreck on the back straightaway when the leaders aren't going to have to run back through them, but they make heavy impact, and that's when they threw the caution. They did the same thing today. That's what you have to do. People will say they need to do the same thing every time. Well, listen, it's not the same incident every time. If no one's hit, if no one's made contact, if the drivers can go through, if the wreck's in turn 2 and the start-finish line is over here, why not let them race? But in this situation, they had to roll personnel to get to the driver.